Good morning, first graders. This week we continue our Unit 2 Design from Nature project. Remember, the last couple of weeks we've been reading articles. Let's see what's up next for our project. You may remember in week 4 and 5 you went through part 1, the mission briefing, and part 2, the mission log or explanation. We will do part 3, the action plan, this week. We will start with part 1, mission briefing. Part 1. You are a movie special effects designer and have been asked to invent a creature for an upcoming science fiction movie. Spend some time as you review thinking about the features of animals and plants, such as its covering, shape, size, and color. Also consider how the creature might move and what it might eat. You'll be on a deadline and will need to submit a sketch and description of the creature to the studio for approval. Over the next 2 weeks, you'll learn about how plants and animals survive. Be creative since you're inventing a creature that doesn't exist in real life. It can have characteristics of both plants and animals. If your creature is chosen, your career could really take off. So remember, friends, we've already done part 1 in weeks 4 and 5. Let's move along to the mission logs. Part 2, mission log explanation. Part 2. The mission log summarizes what you should know and invites you to record your science knowledge. Questions are included to guide your work. You may have filled out the mission log already if you have completed your packets from weeks 4 and 5. If so, please review your mission log and make sure you've completed all parts before you move on to the action plan. Take this moment to pause and look for your mission logs from weeks 4 and 5. Remember, in week 4 we worked on animal survival and week 5 we worked on plant survival. Hopefully by now you found your animal survival needs graphic organizer. Let's go over what I wrote in mine. In my graphic organizer, I use words to describe how animals survive using each of the 5 senses. In my graphic organizer, I wrote that hearing allows animals to know if danger is near. And I wrote that having great sight helps to find food. Touch helps to know if it is cold, hot, or dangerous. Smell helps to find food and to be aware of danger. And finally, being able to taste helps an animal tell if food is safe to eat or not. We should all have something written down for each one of the senses based on the stories that we read last week and the week before about plant and animal survival. Let's move on to plant survival. Okay, hopefully you have your plant survival mission log or graphic organizer. It should look just like mine right now. You should have all 5 of your boxes filled out with more information on how plants use these different parts for survival. Let's go over what Ms. Valdez wrote in hers. Plants have flowers that grow from seeds, and they have colorful petals. Plants also have fruit, which also grow from seeds. The fruit helps to protect the seeds. Plants have leaves that use water, sunlight, and air to make food. I also wrote that plants have stems that help them stand tall. Some are soft and some are hard. Finally, plants have roots. Roots anchor the plant and they take in nutrients to help the plant grow. The Sure Plant Survival Graphic Organizer have some of the same information mine has. Now that we've made sure we have all of our mission logs for animal and plant survival, it's time for part 3, the action plan, where we will apply everything that we've learned about plants and animals and how they survive. Action plan part 3. After you have completed and reviewed parts 1 and 2, you should move on to the action plan below. The action plan summarizes what you should know and invites you to apply your science knowledge and skills to a new situation. In most cases, you will need to use some imagination and creativity to create your plan. There is no single correct answer. Questions are included to guide your work. Okay, hopefully now everybody has their action plan in front of them. You should have one that has a box to draw your creature and then you should have the one that has 2 questions or 2 sentences for you to complete. Before we get started, I want to remind you that our action plans are all about creativity. So that means you can use whatever you can imagine to create the best creature. Let's take a look at an example. This says, take action, invent a creature for an upcoming science fiction model. Your creature should have both plant and animal parts. You will draw a picture of your creature and describe which parts are from animals and which parts are from plants. In my picture below, I used different plant parts and animal parts for my invention for this science fiction movie. Let's take a closer look to see what I wrote with my labels. Here is my invention. I have a tree, and I have put lots of labels to show which parts are animal parts and which parts are plant parts. Let's begin at the bottom with the roots. I chose to use roots because I knew my creature needed something that could anchor it and provide nutrients to it. I also wanted my creature to have a very strong stem, so I drew a trunk. My creature also has leaves because we know that leaves use water, sunlight, and air to make food for the plant. My creature also has seeds that turn into bright pink flowers. These bright pink flowers allow other creatures to know that it is safe for them to come to my creature and have food. Finally, my creature has sharp eyes to help it survive. What does your creature look like? Does it have plant parts? Does it have animal parts? Go ahead and draw, and then take a picture of your creatures and share it with your teachers. Once you finish drawing your creature, it's time for you to fill in the following sentences. Look for this page, and then let's go over it together. Okay, this says take action. Fill in the following sentences. Number 1, the animal parts I used to create my creatures are, and then I wrote sharp eyes for sensing danger. Remember when I showed you my creature, I showed that it had sharp eyes. This is why I wrote that sharp eyes are for sensing danger. Number 2, the plant parts I used to create my creature are roots, seeds, stems, flowers, and leaves. If we take a look at a picture of my creature again, we will see all of these plant parts in my creature. Now I want you to take a look at your creature and answer your own questions. Fill in the following sentences for whatever makes sense with the creature that you drew. Fantastic work, first graders. I can't wait to see all of your action plans for your Unit 2 Design from Nature creature. I know you have all fulfilled your jobs of being movie special effects designers. I can't wait to see your creations. Make sure to send them to your teachers so that you can share them with your classmates. Good luck, friends!